Yeah, here I am.
Oh, look, there she is, the lady in the house.
Hello.
The lady who forgot to get her tickets.
Oh my God, Amanda. And I'm telling everyone all week, did you get a ticket? Did you get a ticket? And then this morning I went, I actually don't have a ticket for this event and I'm talking at it. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, too funny.
Oh
But
my
I
God.
met Christine just this year in January, and there's no such thing as chance meetings. And we were both at Jerry Duffy's Momentum. It was right at the end, and I was introduced to her with the lovely Karen Dwyer. And I came up and I said, "Hi, I'm Amanda. Who are you?" And the rest is history, as they say. And what I love about her is her energy and her drive. She is so ambitious. She's a woman after my own heart. She puts the cart out first and then she runs. Everything backwards because she's so, so fired up to take action and to help people and make a difference. But that's enough. I'm going to hand you over to herself, Christine, so you can tell your story.
Okay, great. You can all see me and hear me okay? Yeah?
Yep.
Great. So obviously this is my first time doing anything like this, and especially for We Can and We Will. So what I did was I've done it in a story form because, Amanda, you're about stories. So I took the time and I wrote it down. So if you don't mind, I'm going to actually read it as if I'm telling a story. My name is Christine. I'm 33 and I'm a mom to 2 children, aged 10 and 11. From a young age, I have been gifted with a strong, determined mind, having respect, compassion, honesty, truth, having feelings, and an awareness of all these is a gift. A lot of the lessons I am sharing with you today are only figured out by people when time has run out. So I am extremely grateful to be young enough to share my wisdom and wishes with you in the hopes that you realize it is never ever too late. I became a mom at 21, and honestly, to date, it is the best and the most rewarding job to become a piece of me. You see, I'm not just Christine and a mom. I am a daughter, sister, friend, I'm a beauty therapist, and just recently, I added a diploma in life coaching with Neuroscience. Being a mom means I am a storyteller, cleaner, chef, doctor, taxi, personal assistant, financial planner, party planner. The list is endless. Being a beauty therapist and a life coach means that I am an enabler of change. I am capable of reading people as quick as a script, and I help deliver their performance just as quick. The most important part of this is that I am Christine and I am curious. Curiosity is what brings you here today. Curiosity is magical. It leads to exploration, which in turn leads to discovery, which again leads you to finding and conquering something you may never have known was there. I am sharing my story today because I am 100% certain that I am someone's reason to want to change. I am someone's reason to want better. And I am someone's reason to want to never go back to who they thought they were and find the reason to become who they truly are. I know this because I became my own reason. So I'll begin. This is my story. Life sends us shit at times. Even the word analogy has anal in it. I have had enough blockages in my life than a plumber would meet while draining a sewers. But I am a plumber's daughter and I know how to drain a sewers. I grew up watching Disney movies and talk shows. My favourite ones that spring to mind are The Lion King, Aladdin, and The Little Mermaid. But all these innocent movies hold very powerful messages of independence, sheer strength, and struggle. Jenny Jones, Oprah, Sally Jessy Raphael, Ricky Lake all inspired me at a young age. I am here today telling my story because I know in my heart it's going to break a cycle. I am here to stop a pattern. I am here to end generations and lines of old behaviours that people every day are just putting up with and experiencing and thinking it's okay when it's not. I'm here to help raise awareness on toxic traits that poison and flood our lives and our bodies and our minds. I am going to open your eyes, your mind, and your heart on what is possible. I'm here to help you understand that there is more. There is always more to discover and learn. My biggest inspiration and continuous role models are my mom and dad. At 14, my mom lost her sister to cancer. Not long after that, her mother passed away of cancer. She took on the role of looking after her younger sister and helping her father. As one of 7 girls in her family, my mom stands out for me as the most powerful, loving, caring, compassionate, kind, considerate, strong, independent women. And it is a privilege for anyone to be within a few feet of her company and experience that. To this day, she is still all that and more. And you know the saying, when you open your mouth, your mother comes out. I love that phrase because for me, it makes my heart full. I'm only showing the world what I experienced growing up. And it is a special moment for me when someone highlights that I sound just like my mom. My dad is another inspirational character in his own way. My dad is one of 13. So you can imagine what that was like growing up in old Ireland, surrounded by beliefs and patterns of how you should be and what you should do, and learning right from wrong, shouting to be heard amongst the chaos. Becoming a parent myself at such a young age and learning so much about myself is where curiosity sparks. The curious Christine learned so much from having such a character of a man in my life that always provided shelter, warmth, security, and stability in the form of a beautiful home, food on the table, clothing and footwear, holidays every year, traveling the world. One trip included Australia and New Zealand at the age of 14. My dad, however, is a man of little words, little verbal communication, but he is, and always continues to be a caring man in his own way. For me, I had the protection and the security from my dad in the form of our home and food, and I had the love and compassion from my mother in the form of communication and freedom to express myself. So where is this going? When do I get to the powerful Christine? Hold on, it takes time, like anything else that is worth waiting for. Today, one skill that I hope our children, our men and women, both older and younger, can develop is the importance of having emotional intelligence. The benefits and the success that comes from this are proven. The lack of this skill destroys generations, and layers of pain and hurt in people's hearts are never truly healed. Being curious has always allowed me to understand a lot more than others at times. As a child, I was told children should be seen and not heard. This was something my dad said a lot to me, and as you can hear, I love to talk. So as you can imagine, that got me in a lot of trouble. I would say Dad learned that phrase from his father, as that is what happens. We learn from what we have. We repeat patterns without realizing it. I can confirm that I am the first person in my family to break a pattern that is engraved into a lot of traditional Irish families, and that is the pattern of having children out of wedlock. As crazy as that sounds, even now saying it almost 12 years later, it is my experience. I remember when I had to tell my dad I was having a baby at 21. He was so mad, so cross and upset and hurt. And the reason he felt those feelings was, number 1, I was not married. Number 2, I was not in a healthy relationship. The father was not going to provide me with any kind of emotional and long-term support that myself or my child would need. And number 3, my dad was living through his own experience of what tradition is and what tradition means. You get married, you work hard, you have children, and that's basically it. But like I said, I'm here to break patterns. I have always done things in the opposite way to tradition, and I still, to this day, continue to do things in my own unique way that best works for me all the time. When I had my first child at 21, my dad was the first man in to hold her in his arms. And at that moment, my heart filled up. I witnessed all the shame he felt, all the frustration and irritation he had from his own upbringing melt out of his body the moment he held her. In recent years, I dived even further into my own behaviours and patterns. I quickly realised the powerful reason behind me being a free-flowing solo parent, doing it all so successfully on my own. This last year has been the best one yet. Myself and one of my very best friends often joke that we must be on our own for a reason, We must have experienced something really difficult in a past life that finally needs to change. So here I am. It wasn't enough to have one child out of wedlock. I was lucky enough to meet another character, and I somehow went on and repeated the same pattern a year later. Another unhealthy, unhealed, toxic relationship to add to the list. I was blessed to be so young with 2 healthy children and supportive parents and really, really good friends. You can tell a lot from a person by the company they keep, is another beautiful awareness I received from my dad. I like that one though, it's powerful. Within those experiences and within those relationships, I gave 100%. But you know what they say, what's for you won't pass you by, and what's meant to be will be. I can confirm I learned enough life lessons to set me up for the lesson that I really needed to learn. This time last year, myself and my partner of 4 years parted ways. Myself and my mum would even joke, oh my God, you got to 4 years into a relationship and no surprise baby. Yes, I broke my own pattern. You see, even in that relationship, we both did everything that we believed to be correct and right in the moment. But still, as they say, what's for you won't pass you by. 6 weeks after that relationship ended, I found myself very, very unwell physically. And I was being sent away from all the doctors and emergency rooms as they all said the same thing. There is nothing wrong with you. You look fine. It's all in your head. When I knew in my gut I desperately needed help, I didn't give up. I used my powerful inner knowing and reached out to who I knew. And thankfully, I was admitted to hospital. I was indeed very unwell. And after a diagnosis with a long-term illness, I had had enough. I had had enough of giving myself and giving parts of me to so many, only to receive exhaustion, stress, illness, anger, frustration, emptiness, confusion, and so much more. It was time to reclaim myself and give myself permission to be who I truly am. In my own experience, how we live today is a representation of what we have learned. When you become aware and realize the choices you have, you get to change anything. In my life, I have learned that communication within any relationship is the most important ingredient. It is through lack of communication that I learned this. I also learned that nobody is a single mom. Everyone that is a parent parents independently in their own unique way. Whether you are married or on your own, or in a relationship with someone or not, you are a unique parent that parents uniquely. In all relationships and friendships that I have had, I have been fortunate enough to come across so many terms and descriptions of what I don't want. By discovering what I don't want, it has always led me to what I do want. I have witnessed people staying stuck and trapped and self-sabotaging themselves and those around them. I have seen and experienced heartbreak and watched people staying in unhealthy relationships where they feel so insignificant and feel they are suffocating and don't know why. I have first-hand experience of receiving all the traits and traumas that enable the toxic expulsion of another. This is where my skill in reading people worked in a very dysfunctional way. I did say I do a lot of things in reverse. This is no different. I allowed all these behaviors pour out of the wounded people in my life and into me without proper protection. At those times, I did not have the necessary tools to manage the purge of gaslighting, controlling narcissistic behavior, misogynist men, personality disorders, shouting abuse, inconsistency, disrespect, dishonesty, lack of loyalty, lack of communication, lack of support. But I am so grateful for every single one of those people that entered my life. I am so thankful that my light was strong enough to pull those dark, deep-rooted demons from those people, as they are the wounded ones who needed me more than I thought I needed them. I have learned exactly what I do deserve and who I do want and what I do need in my life. I am now fully aware who deserves me and my time and my skills and all the other hidden treasures that I possess. To all those in my life that did not communicate effectively with me, to all those that had a hidden temper and shouted at me, to anyone that told me, be quiet, no one cares, no one listens, and to any man that told me I was only good for one thing and one thing only, I want to thank you. I want to acknowledge your pain your suffering. And thank you so much for everything. Every single piece of abuse you projected onto me has helped me to grow and to heal. And I hope one day it helps you heal too. In all this healing and growing and development, I paused. And recently I wrote a letter to 14-year-old Christine. She needed to hear this back then and realize just how beautiful and creative her life and how exciting her life is going to be. And I'm going to share that with you now. Dear Christine, congratulations, you did it. You found your place. You found where you were meant to be and doing what you were born to do. As a child, you dreamed of being on stage. Ever since your performance as Little Red Riding Hood, you dreamed big dreams. Congratulations. Your powerful inner strength and determination has guided you exactly where you were meant to be. This stage is much more meaningful than any of your drama performances, though. This stage is on display every day. You are performing a show that others only witness, because this, my beauty, is your life. It has not been easy. It has not been the fairy tale you had imagined. The dress rehearsals were extremely hard. They hurt so much at times. But guess what? You still found a way. You always looked for an alternative script when the one you were given went sour. When the knights in shining armour turned out to be tinfoil covered bears, you still managed to love them. You gave every piece of your heart to all the bears and all the beasts, and even when their supply from you ran dry, you still shined like a diamond. Little did you know how well prepared you were for the next script. During this beautiful, dramatic, explosive, and at times improvised performance, you were blessed with two gorgeous, precious jewels. They are your children, and they bring you more magic and memories and moments than you can ever imagine. Every day with them is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. At times, life can feel like Dory in the big open sea. But like Dory, you just keep swimming. And like the genie said in Aladdin, today's special moments are tomorrow's memories. Another encounter with a masked and heavily wounded wolf set you up for your big break. When the hungry wolf was still hungry and needed to feed, you set him free. You danced on a dark black stage that slowly became extremely bright. It lit up one twinkle at a time while you embraced this new script, yet again showing your resilience, your strength, your determination, your love, and your level of self-compassion. You have no idea of the beauty, the radiance, the glow, and the light that you give. One final blast from an unexpected silent villain that was hiding in the wings a lot longer than you knew knocked you to the ground. This was an invisible black energy that tried to physically suck you dry of your sparkle. But even when you physically couldn't fight this dark, invisible force, you did something more magical. You made friends with it. You allowed it to sit within you, and within a short few weeks, your light quickly dimmed that shadow. You see, Christine, you are a rare, precious jewel. You have your own unique colour, your own unique light. One of the most powerful things to remember is no is a full sentence. No, thank you adds some kindness, though. I want you to maintain your sparkle, build your protection skills, and know that you are beautiful just as you are, and you are going exactly where you're supposed to go. So in all the scripts you have been handed, you have gained extensive experience. You have battled your own invisible dark enemy long before Corona. Stepping forward, you are embracing a very fulfilling, determined, powerful performance. No lights are required because your stage is already lit. Remember your purpose. You are not here to feed any wolves. You are teaching the wolves to love themselves enough to want to feed together. Thank you for listening.
Wow.
Wow.
That was incredible, Christine.
Thank you. Oh, thanks very much.
Comments are flying in there.
I haven't even looked. So.
Everybody was just literally mesmerized. I couldn't move. I was just, yeah, Nicola Connolly saying she can't cope. I've seen Downey putting it. Everybody is just mesmerized, literally blown away. Like incredible, Christine. Absolutely incredible. And you know, I know the last demon you were talking about, and I know you haven't shared that, so I won't, but it's just incredible what you've overcome. And I have to say it again, I'm so blessed and privileged that you've come into our lives, because as I said, you're a pleasure to work with, pleasure to be around. Do you want to say something?
Can I say something? We are normally do this weekend, and we will, and there's usually about 70 or 80 people in the room, but because we're doing it online tonight, everybody's muted. But I guarantee you, if we were in that room, you would have been able to hear a pin drop talking, and you would have got a standing ovation at the end.
Absolutely, honey. Everybody's saying, "Oh, I can breathe again." We were holding our breath.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, Nicola's saying proud. And I know you're proud of yourself, and I know you've got your gorgeous children, and what a future you have ahead. And again, I'm going to say it again, the clients and the people, the wolves that you are going to help are in for a real treat, honey, because you are one powerful lady.
Thank you very much.